long-term residential...
The House Judiciary Committee is considering new legislation called the Domestic Minor Sex Trafficking Deterrence and Victim Support Act of 2010 to try and halt what each witness described as American children who are exploited for prostitution, pornography, and sexual entertainment, and what they say is a growing demand for commercial sex with young girls and boys inside the United States. The committee heard shocking testimony from the witnesses, how over 100,000 children in the United States are sexually exploited, sold each year, and, said the witnesses, the problem is getting much worse. Many here called it perhaps the most disgusting example of sexual slavery that needs a stricter federal law so child sex traffickers can be more easily caught, prosecuted, and thrown in jail.
Though it's hard to believe, the average age of first exploitation is young girls 12 to 13 years of age.
One victim, when I asked, how many times were you forced to do this a day, said a minimum of 10, a maximum of 15 times a day.
American girls of all descriptions are being pimped and were found in gentlemen's clubs, through escort agencies, and on the internet websites in every major city that we researched.
Witnesses said the internet has made it much easier for underage girls to be sold for sex.
The trafficking of young children, primarily women and little girls from ages 12 to 15, is an ever-growing problem. It's a growing problem in the United States. We have two issues. We have young girls being trafficked through the United States from foreign countries, and we have domestic children that are being trafficked throughout the United States as well.
The committee was told prosecutors are being trained to pay closer attention to child abuse cases to see if some of them are being used as child prostitutes, but that more needs to be done to identify underage victims of the child sex trade.
The issue of domestically trafficked girls, American girls, is finally being named and finally being addressed as an epidemic within the U.S.
Many of the experts sitting here say more should be done to prosecute those who buy sex from children and their pimps, the men who buy it, often going free, while it's the children, the victims, who are more often than not charged as offenders. Witnesses said surveys show a recent surge in child prostitution, a 40% increase in Michigan, a 20% jump in New York, a staggering 64% increase in the state of Minnesota, and similar startling increases in other states. What is needed now, they said, is a tough set of new federal laws to effectively stop child prostitution in the United States. Congress, said one child advocate, is finally responding. Mike Kellerman, Press TV, Washington.